going to discuss how to create an RFM model using Alteryx. RFM is a model used for analyzing and estimating customer value based on three quantifiable factors: recency, frequency, and monetary value. RFM analysis then classifies customers with a numerical ranking for each of the three categories, with the ideal customer earning the highest score. In this video, we are ranking each category on a scale of 1 to 5. Based on their scores, we are going to assign each customer to a specific segment. To start, we need to put our data sources to our workflow. Click on Input Data and browse. We can connect to Alteryx using a different method, such as using files or using different data sources. In this example, we're using a file. We have two examples: the customer information on our daily transactions. Select the appropriate sheet and hit OK. You can also put a data source by dragging it into the canvas. Now, once we have the appropriate data sources, we can first look at the available fields that it has. Drag a select tool into the canvas. The select tool shows the different data types and the data sizes of each field. You can also select a different data type or convert it to a different data type by clicking on the drop-down and selecting a different data type on the list. You can also change the size by double-clicking on the size field. Now we can join our data. Drag a join tool to the canvas. Make sure that the left and right nodes are connected to both of our data sources. Our primary key for both tables is the client ID, so that we will use that as the matching field. On the drop-down, select the client ID. It will automatically match to the right side if it has the same name. If not, click the drop-down again and select the field. We will use the data that was matched from both the left and right input. And then, we need to sort our data based on the client ID and by date. To do that, let's drag a sort tool into the canvas. Connect it to the J node. We will be configuring the sort tool by selecting the client ID and the date, both on ascending order. Now we need to compute the days in between gaming days of each client. To do that, we will be using the multi-row formula tool. The multi-row formula tool enables us to create functions based on the difference of each rows, so we could compare the rows before or after the current row. In our example, let's create a new field named Days in between gaming days. Group it by client ID, and then set the function in the expression field. In this example, we are going to use the date-time difference in between the current or the active row and the next row after it. So let's type the function date time diff, open parentheses, the current date, comma, the row after it, comma, and the date time format in which you wish to compute for the difference. In this case, we'll be using days. then close parentheses. This function will help us compute the number of days between each date, and this will iterate until there's a different client ID. Now we need to aggregate the daily game transaction to client level by using the summarize tool. Configure the summarize tool by applying these actions. Group by the client ID, count date and rename as gaming days, get the sum of the casino daily win amount, and also the sum of the sports daily win amount. Then the average of the days in between gaming days. Then get the max date by clicking on date and the max aggregation value. Rename this as the last visit. The summarize tool's aggregation values will depend on the data type of a selected field, so make sure to convert all the fields to their appropriate data type. Then we need to add a few more calculations before scoring each client. In the formula tool, apply the following functions. First, create a new column called days since last visit. Set the data type as int64, and this will contain the total number of days since each client's last visit. The function we will use is still datetime_diff. Get the difference between the date time today compared to the last visit, and in the format of days. -1. Then create another new column called daily contributions. Set the data type as a fixed decimal, precision of 25 and a scale of 2 for 2 decimal places. And then this formula will be used. Open parentheses, the sum of casino daily wins plus the sum of sports daily win, close parentheses, and then divided by the gaming days. After preparing the data, we can now set the scoring of each customer on RFM. Let's start with ranking their recency. In scoring the recency, we will make use of the field days since last visit, and by using the sort tool, we will sort this field on descending order. Once sorted, we will bin the data to 5 buckets or tiles by using the multi-field binning tool. Select days since last visit as the field for binning, and select the equal records with 5 number of tiles. Since we have sorted it in descending order, the most recent clients will have 1 as the score, while the most dormant clients will have 5. In scoring the frequency, we will be using the same process as that of the recency method, but for a different field. First, select sort, and then set the gaming days on ascending order. Then, let's select the multi-field binning tool. This will set the gaming days into 5 number of tiles, same with that of recency, but in the order of highest to lowest. So those clients with the most gaming days, or the most frequent clients, will have the score of 5, while the least amount of gaming days will have a score of 1. For the last category of monetary value, we will be using the field daily contributions. In the sort tool, sort the daily contributions in ascending order. And then on the multi-field binning tool, select the field of daily contribution as the field of binning with the same equal records and 5 number of tiles. This will have the players with the most monetary contribution to have a score of 5, and those with the least number of contributions will have a score of 1. Then, we can now rename the tile numbers as the ranks. In the select tool, we will rename the following fields. Days since last visit will be renamed as the recency rank. Gaming days will be renamed as the frequency rank. And daily contributions will be renamed as a monetary rank. Since we have the complete category scores, we can now group the customers. As shown previously, we will have 9 segments in this workflow. First, let's get the group of champions or the best players. This will be the customers who are the most recent, most frequent, and has the greatest monetary value. In the filter tool, apply this custom filter. Recency rank in 1 and 2, and frequency rank is equal to 5, and the monetary rank is also equal to 5. On the truth anchor of this filter, connect a formula tool to mark their segment number and segment name. So create a new column, name it as segment number, set it as an integer, 16, and then enter 1. On another column, create a segment name, set as a VW string with a size 255, and then enter champions, or best customers. And we will repeat this procedure of adding filters and segment names until we have the last segment. Once we have filtered all of our segments, we will now combine all of it to one data stream. Drag a union tool to the canvas. Connect the segments to the union tool. We can now save this process data as our output. To save it to a file or a database table, drag an output data tool at the end of our workstream. We will save our example as an Excel file. Alteryx can also publish your output to Tableau, Qlik, and Power BI using the other tools provided on the designer.